Suciotalk, episode 40, 41 maybe, I'm not sure. I spent the last 3 days driving over 24 hours, probably 1,200 miles as of now, so I'm a little fried, but it's alright. I'm sitting here at the Catbirdseat. What's up, Amazon?
Thanks, dude.
We're sitting on the, would you say this is the porch? The entrance to the Patterson
Yeah,
house.
porch of the Patterson. You can just leave it right there. It's locked.
Very cool.
Thanks.
So there's going to be some of the elements. You're going to hear some cars, maybe some people on the street. What up, Chef? But I got Chef Brian Baxter here. Chef Brian, how are you?
Doing well.
Fuck yeah, man. I saw you in there fucking busting ass. You were in the dish station when I got there, fucking scrubbing something out. So it seems like you're in there with the boys every day.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how big is your staff?
So there's 5 of us in the kitchen right now, including myself. A dishwasher that comes in around 2.
Okay.
And then anywhere from 3 to 4 front of the house, depending on the day.
Got
that
you.
Includes the beverage director and our host.
Okay. And how many covers are you doing nightly?
So we're doing, I would say, average 40. We can do up to like 42, 43 if we're really squeezing like tonight.
Understood. And obviously that's what you're doing today, but on this show we talk about what you did back in the day. So we're going to take it all the way back. Where were you born?
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah. And what was that upbringing like? Small town? Was it beach?
I mean, yeah, definitely beach vibe.
Okay.
I would say city, definitely growing up like a city life. It's not like you think New York City, but it's also not country, So
okay.
Kind of like it's not quite beach town until you get out to the beach. I don't know if you've ever been to Florida, but it's pretty like flat and spread out. So it's just a lot of neighborhoods crammed in there.
Very cool.
Like pretty much 15 minutes either direction, you're going to land on the beach.
Okay, understood. What did your parents do when you were growing up?
My mom's been a teacher and administrator, my entire life. My father, he was a pastor for a long time. And then, officiated and coached high school football. Did some other jobs. He was constantly I feel like always working.
Yeah.
So
hustling.
I kind of learned that from him. It's just always going.
Yeah.
Nonstop. So now he officiates college football and then works for works sales for a tinting company.
Oh wow, college football just in all the universities? Does he travel or does he do just one?
It's underneath the SEC, so do a couple SEC games. I can't remember it's SoCon and one other conference. So they kind of work their way up, through these different schools throughout the Southeast United States.
Yeah. Okay, understood.
Some big games, some small games.
What is your sous chef's name again?
Ian's the sous chef.
Okay, gotcha. Understood.
Connor.
Okay, Connor. Gotcha. All right. He just made a funny face when he was walking by, and these two gentlemen are having a conversation right here. I'm sure you can hear them, but it's all good. So, did you have any brothers and sisters?
I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay.
I was an only child until I was 10.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was cool.
Did you feel it? Were you like, oh, fuck?
I don't think so. My parents said I was always trying to go home with everybody else, after church or after school. Or can I go stay with Adam? Can I go stay?
Okay, got you.
Go stay here.
So the house was empty.
Yeah. They didn't always let me.
Yeah.
Random people that didn't even have kids, older couple, hey, it's fine. He says he wants to come home with us.
Yeah.
Okay. He always says that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had my middle sister when I was 10, and then when I was 17, I guess my kind of junior year of high school, my other sister was born in December.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah. Actually, it would have been I can't remember.
Yeah,
senior year, junior year.
Have a child, wait 10 years, then wait 7 years.
A
surprise, got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Big surprise.
Yeah, okay, well, what are they doing now?
So she actually just started school this year, just graduated from high school, and she's in Chicago now.
Okay.
At North Park University, and my other sister has one class left to finish.
Yeah.
She went to school in Pennsylvania, played volleyball for a bit, and then she just got married. Her and her husband moved back to St. Pete. So he's from Michigan, and they both wanted to get away from the cold.
Yeah, okay.
So they're back in Florida now.
Okay. And what was the eating situation like when you were a kid? Was your mom cooking, dad cooking?
My mom was cooking. The only thing I've ever seen my dad make is goulash, and he like dumps a bunch of stuff in it. I don't know how he makes it.
Yeah.
I've only seen him make it once before I was interested in cooking.
Yeah, so you're like, I don't know what that is.
Crock pot. My mom did a lot of casseroles and stuff.
Okay.
You know, cooking.
Yeah.
And then when my sister was born, when I was 10, we moved in with my grandmother to stay with her.
Okay.
Kind of like help her around the house. And she lived for like another 25 years or something. She really didn't need that much help.
That's not a rare story.
Yeah.
I've heard that happen before. There was like a couple that moved into a house because the woman was like, the house is yours when I die. And then she ended up living for another 20 years, like upstairs.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, dude? When did you first start getting an interest in cooking?
So probably, I'd say my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
I would come home, instead of doing homework, I would, throw on Emerald Live.
Okay.
Like every afternoon.
All right, yeah, okay.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
So kind of like watching a lot of Emerald, and then I started watching Iron Chef
Yeah,
on Friday
yeah.
and Saturdays. So like just nonstop watching it, and then I was like, I already liked eating, So,
Yeah.
Food Network TV or foodtv.com or whatever it was back then was relatively new.
Yeah.
You could kind of go download the recipe card, so I like look for some just random Emerald recipe. I had no idea what anything was, Go buy like this one was like marinated grilled steak with all this stuff. So I go grab like habanero, this, all this random stuff.
Yeah.
The grandma we lived with, she did all the cooking at the house once we moved in with her.
Yeah.
So we had dinner every night at 6, which I would obviously make a huge mess.
Yeah.
I would use so many different items. My other grandma didn't live far from us, my mom's mom.
Yeah.
And she would let me, give me the card or a check or something, go up to the grocery store, buy stuff, and cook dinner for her.
Okay. So she trusts you to be like, go ahead. Okay.
She said it was good. She probably
just
chewed through a lot of stuff. So that's kind of around then when I realized that's what I wanted to do.
You know what's funny? This conversation that's going on behind it, I had it in Denver, and it's about sponsoring females around the world, young kids, with money for their tribe and or whatever they need to get fresh water and things like that. So I'm in Denver. I do a podcast, I go to the dispensary, and then I'm walking down the street, and the guy hails me, and I have this great conversation with the dude, and then it turns out he's from this company, and then I ended up sponsoring a little kid from Dominican Republic. It's just how those things happen. You wake up that day, you're about to do a podcast, and then you end up sponsoring a child. So I hope this guy bites. So when did this transform into maybe I want to do this professionally?
I think so. At some point, kind of between my sophomore, I knew I want to be a chef. Yeah. I didn't know what that was going to be exactly back then. I played football. My goal was to play college football and get an education paid for. And then kind of go from there. Obviously, there's not a lot of culinary schools that have a football team.
No, not.
And
definitely
not a lot
not.
of universities at the time that had culinary programs.
Heard.
I ended up going to the school, West Virginia Tech in Montgomery, West Virginia.
Okay.
They had a. It's part of West Virginia University, but it's their technical campus. It was like their engineering campus.
Got you.
But they had this culinary program that was associated with Greenbrier.
Okay.
So you would have done your, internship with Greenbrier or whatever.
Okay.
So went there after my first season. It's a lot of things changed. AD didn't. A lot of money goes to football.
Yeah.
So it seemed like they didn't want that much money going to football. The team wasn't very good, so they weren't raising much money. It's not like they were selling a lot of tickets.
Okay.
I was, dating a girl at the time who moved up there with me, and it was just kind of you move back to Florida. So I transferred to a school in Babson Park, Weber International University, and they're like a hospitality school.
Okay.
So I was like, I can keep playing football, get a hospitality degree. After that, I can go to culinary school. Most of my friends from high school were living in Orlando, going to UCF at the time. So we had a lot of like driving back and forth from Orlando to Babson Park, like, late night or early in the morning, and
burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, and I was like, what wasn't passionate about. I felt like burnt out on football, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to go play in the league, so it's like, do I keep doing this? I don't know. So that was probably the hardest decision I ever made. I had applied to the CIA. I never heard back.
Never heard back, really?
Yeah. So I applied to like La Cordon Bleu, and of course, like they call you like an hour later.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, oh yeah,
you're in. Yeah, that was like the reason why I chose Johnson & Wales. No SAT.
Yeah.
And then you show up there and you're like, I have interest in the school, and then you get a letter that says you're accepted.
Okay.
Like it's just like there's no no screening.
Yeah. So of course, the Cordon Bleu's like, we want you to start now. I was like, well, I wanted to finish spring football.
Yeah.
I didn't want to quit. I never quit anything before. I wanted to finish. If you don't start when this next block starts in 2 weeks, we don't know if you'll ever be able to get into the program again.
Yeah.
A lot of people sign up for it, blah, blah, just feeding you this,
bullshit. Yeah.
I was getting dressed for practice one day and just literally didn't put my shoulder pads on.
Yeah.
I didn't even grab the rest of my stuff out of my locker. I walked back to my room, took my pants off, and packed a bunch of my stuff up, left everything else.
Really?
Yeah.
And at that time, I'm sure you had some friends there, your teammates. Were they like, what the fuck?
The thing is, I wasn't spending that much time there. So
so you didn't have...
So I had my roommate.
It was easy to leave.
Basketball players. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so, I was in a relationship, young, which we'll get into a little bit more in a bit, but... all my friends are in Orlando, and I didn't want to quit, but I didn't want to disappoint my dad. I think that was the hardest thing, was telling him I didn't want to play football anymore.
Yeah,
because I thought he was going to be upset, But he told me, he's like, I've always told you I have 100% support everything you want to do. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the coach called me, and I just kind of told him what was going on, and I don't know. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't have anyone to talk to. I mean, I talked to my dad about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But that was something where it's I don't want to disappoint him. So
yeah.
I don't want to talk to him about.
So there's this lonely feeling.
Yeah.
Of
I just man, I'm 20 years old.
Man, you don't know what where to shit, where to piss. It's what the fuck.
So, yeah, man. So I just never went back for any of that stuff.
Yeah. And where'd you land after that?
So I started at Le Cordon Bleu. Of course, 9 weeks in, I get a letter from the CIA saying I had been accepted.
Okay.
I didn't have any kitchen experience.
Yeah.
I was I wanted to leave Florida.
Did you need kitchen experience to go to CIA?
6 months.
No way, time, really? Whoa, what year
is this? At
this?
least they told you that. It was, I graduated in 06 or 07, I can't remember.
Okay, gotcha.
I think it was 7. But, so moved back to St. Petersburg. Just stayed with my grandma, the one that I used to cook.
Gotcha, okay. So you got a little bit into that again.
To help her out around, kind of mow the lawn and stuff. And then worked at the restaurant I worked at in high school, where I was just a food runner in high school.
Okay.
But to kind of get into the restaurant business, my mom taught this guy's kids. So she's like, hey, my son wants to work in restaurants. Send him by.
She's like, now you teach my kid.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I come by one day.
Yeah.
My first kind of intro to restaurants was me walking into this restaurant and this dude Kai coming down the hallway just cussing someone out.
Yeah.
Just tearing into him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it's a football field for you, right? You're like, okay, same kind of training.
College, I mean, you talk about intensity, when I played, they could still hit you on the side of the helmet and stuff.
Really?
It wasn't
Got you.
Not that they did all the like a coach wasn't afraid to, like, if you weren't doing something right,
like grab you by the helmet and like show you. Okay,
like,
gotcha.
You might end up on the ground.
Yeah.
It's just different. So